In this video, we'd like to introduce you to our not this task, which is our phonological working memory task, or the amount of auditory information that we can hold in mind at once. In this task, children receive auditory instructions of increasing complexity, something like find a shape that is not red. And then they see an array of shapes and have to find a shape that is not red. When they hear that instruction, it's against a white screen, so they have to hold that instruction in mind. And once they see the shapes, then carry that instruction out. Again, this goes from level 1 to level 8. Level 1 has a single characteristic that they have to remember, red, all the way up to level 8, where there are 8 different features that you would have to hold in mind. But like Mr. Ant, there's a stop rule, so 3 incorrect performances at a single level means that the game stops, so that you don't reach that level of frustration. As highlighted in our intro video, the role of the data collector is to ensure a child's engagement and motivation in the task. Enthusiasm is contagious, so be enthusiastic. What we don't want to do is sit back and let the iPad do all of the work. At the same time, we don't want to overhelp. We want this to be the child's best possible performance, but it needs to be the child's performance. So here are some general tips and tricks to help you in administration of this task. If you're unfamiliar to the child, try and build rapport beforehand. Be enthusiastic yourself. And don't overhelp. For instance, in the not this task, you wouldn't want to reiterate the instruction once the shapes have been presented. This makes the task much easier. In our own research, we found that children enjoy playing these games, but we've also learned to expect the unexpected. So we thought we'd give you some insight into some of the things that we've encountered and how we address them. The instructions are provided in the game, but sometimes it's more engaging for the child if the data collector delivers them. To do this, you could turn the sound off, but you need to make sure that you are very familiar with the instructions so that critical aspects aren't missed. The goal is, at the end of the practice, the child knows what is expected of them as the game proceeds.
Can you point to one that's red? Good job. And can you point to one that's green? Done. And can you point to a circle?
If a child has trouble understanding what not means, try and explain it using different words in the practice.
So not means no. It means to choose something that's a different colour from red, okay? So we can't choose red. So which one's not red? Which one's a different colour from red? Good job. That one's not red, is it?
We created each of the apps for easy data collection. There are a number of different options or ways that you can get access to that data. If your preference is to use a database, the apps can submit data straight to a user-defined database, and we've provided some sample source code to help you develop this. We've also provided the contact of our own database developer who can create a database from the model he created for us. If your preference is to get the data by email, specify that in the I menu, and you can get the results sent to a user-specified email address. Or if the apps are only being used for brief screening or assessment purposes, you can use the score that's provided on the end screen. However, we'd caution that this score is derived from unprocessed data, so we'd not advise using this score for more formalized assessment or research purposes. Thank you for your interest in the Early Years Toolbox. We hope you have as much fun using it as we had developing it and using it ourselves.